As the first rays of sunlight spill across the world's wildest places, a silent transformation begins. The African savanna stretches endlessly, its golden grasses shimmering beneath a sky painted with the promise of a new day. In the Amazon, a dense emerald sea awakens, mist curling above the treetops as hidden creatures stir. High in the Andean cloud forest, veils of fog drift between ancient trees, their moss-laden branches catching the morning light. Here the land is both cradle and crucible, shaping every life that calls it home. On the savanna, a matriarch leads her elephant family through a labyrinth of grass and thorn, their footsteps muffled by the dew-soaked earth. Giraffes stretch their necks to pluck tender leaves from acacia trees, while zebras graze in tight-knit groups, ever watchful for danger. Above the Amazon's endless green scarlet macaws and toucans flash through the canopy, their calls echoing in the humid air. In the cloud forest, a spectacled bear forages quietly, its movements barely disturbing the mossy undergrowth, while hummingbirds dart between orchids suspended in the mist. Life's first moments are fraught with peril and wonder. A newborn antelope, legs trembling, rises beside its mother, the pair blending into the tall grass as predators lurk nearby. Warthog piglets tumble from their burrow, squealing as they explore the world for the first time. Deep in the rainforest, jaguar cubs wrestle in dappled sunlight, their mother watching from the shadows. High above, a sloth cradles her infant, moving with deliberate care through the tangled branches. In a mossy nest, an Andean cock of the rock feeds its chick, the forest alive with the soft chorus of new beginnings. The wild is a theatre of tension and pursuit. A lion melts into the grass, every muscle taut as it stalks a distant herd of wildebeest. Nearby, a cheetah crouches, eyes locked on a lone gazelle, the air electric with anticipation. Along the Amazon's muddy banks, a jaguar slips into the water, its spotted coat vanishing beneath the surface as it hunts caiman. Overhead, a harpy eagle scans the canopy, talons poised for a deadly strike. In the cloud forest, a puma's shadow glides between tree trunks, while an owl's silent wings cut through the dusk. Each predator, from the smallest owl to the mighty crocodile, is locked in a daily contest of wits and agility, where a single misstep can mean the difference between feast and famine. Survival here is often a collective effort. Elephant families move in tight formation, elders guiding the young and vulnerable through a maze of hazards. Buffalo herds form living walls to shield their calves from prowling lions, their unity a formidable defence. Packs of African wild dogs communicate with subtle glances and yips, orchestrating complex hunts that rely on trust and coordination. In the rainforest, capuchin monkeys share food and warnings, while below, armies of leafcutter ants construct living bridges, their cooperation transforming the forest floor into a bustling metropolis. Every inch of these wild places teems with intricate life. On the savanna, dung beetles labour tirelessly, rolling precious spheres that nourish the soil. Herds of antelope, zebra and buffalo sweep across the plains, their synchronized movements shaping the very rhythm of the land. In the rainforest, army ants swarm over fallen logs, their relentless march clearing all in their path. A hummingbird hovers at a cloud forest blossom, its wings a blur as it sips nectar, while an orchid bee gathers pollen, ensuring the next generation of flowers. Each creature, no matter how small, is a vital thread in the tapestry of survival. Even in moments of stillness, the wild pulses with hidden drama. A lion sprawls in the tall grass, eyes half closed, but ears alert to every sound. Cheetah cubs nap in the shade, their dreams interrupted by the distant thunder of hooves as wildebeest surge across a swollen river, braving crocodile-infested waters. In the rainforest, a poison dart frog's vivid skin warns of danger, while a glass frog clings to a leaf, its translucent body revealing the miracle of life within. Leaf-cutter ants march in endless lines, transforming the forest floor, while a tarantula emerges from its burrow as dusk falls. As dawn breaks, the savanna glows with the promise of renewal. Elephants, silhouetted against the rising sun, move with quiet purpose, while wildebeest graze in the golden light, their breath mingling with the morning mist. In the Amazon, river otters play in hidden backwaters, their sleek bodies weaving through tangled roots. Macaws gather at clay licks, their raucous calls echoing through the trees. Overhead, a condor rides the thermals above cloud forest cliffs, surveying a world alive with possibility. From the smallest insect to the mightiest predator, every creature is part of a grand unfolding drama, one shaped by the land, the seasons, and the relentless drive to survive. Join us as we journey deeper into these extraordinary worlds, revealing the secrets and stories that allow life to flourish in the wild heart of the African savanna and the Amazon rainforest. As the first rays of dawn spill across the endless African savanna, a gentle hush settles over the land. In this golden light, the unmistakable silhouette of a giraffe emerges, its elongated neck rising above the sea of grass, surveying a world that stretches to the horizon. Each step is deliberate, graceful, and ancient, echoing the rhythm of a landscape shaped by giants. Beneath the watchful gaze of its towering mother, a newborn giraffe calf tumbles into existence, landing with a jarring 6-foot drop onto the earth below. The calf's first moments are a test of instinct and resilience, its spindly legs trembling as it struggles upright, urged on by gentle nudges. Within minutes the calf is upright, blinking in the morning light, and within an hour it is running, its survival dependent on this swift transformation from helplessness to mobility, for the tall grass conceals both promise and peril. The giraffe's neck, a marvel of evolution, stretches skyward, 7 elongated vertebrae supporting a head that can reach the highest acacia leaves. Its heart, massive and powerful, pumps life upward against gravity's pull. With a tongue nearly 1/2 metre long, the giraffe navigates a maze of thorns, curling its dexterous appendage around the choicest leaves. Each bite is a delicate dance, the tongue's blue-black hue protecting it from the sun, while the giraffe's patchwork coat, each pattern unique, breaks up its outline in the dappled shade, rendering it nearly invisible to all but the keenest eyes. In the heart of the savanna, young giraffes gather in creches, a living nursery watched over by vigilant mothers. Here, calves learn the subtle language of the herd, a flick of the ear, a gentle nudge, a playful swing of the neck. Their sparring is both game and lesson, building strength and social bonds. The adults, meanwhile, communicate in deep, resonant rumbles that ripple through the ground, a secret conversation that binds the group together and warns of distant threats. Giraffes are the sentinels of the plains. Their height grants them a vantage point unmatched by any other, allowing them to scan the horizon for the faintest sign of movement. A sudden stillness, a raised head, and a twitch of the ear can ripple through the herds below, sending a silent alarm across the grasslands. In these moments, the giraffe's vigilance becomes the savanna's early warning system, a living watchtower above the sea of gold. Not far from the giraffes, another giant stirs, the African elephant. Moving in close-knit herds, elephants traverse the plains with a quiet authority. Their massive forms cast long shadows as they journey in search of water and shade. At midday they pause to dust bathe, tossing clouds of earth over their backs, the fine particles shielding their skin from biting insects and the relentless sun. Their ears, broad and veined, flap rhythmically, cooling blood and body alike. At the heart of every elephant herd is the matriarch, a living archive of memory and wisdom. She leads her family along ancient migration routes, her mind mapping the hidden wells and safe passages etched into the land by generations before her. At a waterhole, she tests the water with her trunk, ensuring it is safe before allowing the herd to drink. Her decisions, shaped by years of experience, are the difference between survival and hardship in this unpredictable world. The bond between elephant mothers and their calves is unbreakable. A mother's trunk caresses her newborn, guiding it gently, while the herd forms a living barrier around the vulnerable young. Calves are nurtured by all, learning through mimicry and play, chasing each other in circles, trumpeting with delight, and practicing the skills they will need to navigate the challenges of adulthood. In moments of danger, the adults close ranks, their bodies forming an impenetrable wall of protection. Elephants possess a depth of emotion rare in the animal kingdom. When a herd member falls, the group gathers in solemn silence. Trunks reach out, gently tracing the bones of the departed, lingering in a ritual of remembrance. They stand together, offering comfort in quiet gestures, an embrace, a shared stillness, honouring the memory of those who have walked beside them. Together, giraffes and elephants are the architects of the savannah. Elephants push through dense thickets, toppling trees and carving new paths, their movements opening up the landscape for countless other creatures. Giraffes, with their selective browsing, prune the treetops, encouraging fresh growth and maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Their actions, though different, are intertwined, each shaping the world in ways both subtle and profound. As the sun dips below the horizon, the savannah is transformed into a tapestry of shadow and light. Elephants and giraffes move together across the golden grass, their silhouettes etched against the burning sky. Overhead, birds wheel and call, drawn to the giants below. In this land of extremes, it is strength, memory, and the bonds of kinship that endure. The towering giants leave their mark not only on the earth, but in the very spirit of the wild, a legacy written in every sunrise and every silent, starlit night. As dawn breaks over the endless savannah, a breathtaking spectacle begins to unfold. The great migration surges forward, a living, moving tapestry of wildebeest, zebras and antelopes, each animal compelled by the ancient rhythm of survival. Driven by thirst and hunger, they traverse vast grasslands, their hooves carving winding trails through the golden expanse. The land itself is a formidable force, offering both peril and promise, shaping every decision and every step of this monumental journey. At the vanguard, zebras lead with confidence. Their striking stripes ripple in the morning light, creating a mesmerizing illusion that confounds the eyes of lurking predators. Each zebra is alert, ears flicking at the faintest sound, while their collective memory guides the herd to secret waterholes hidden among the tall grasses. Foals, barely taller than the grass itself, cling to their mothers, learning the subtle cues of danger and safety, their survival dependent on the unity and wisdom of the group. With the arrival of the rains, the plains are transformed. Calving season bursts into life as hundreds of thousands of wildebeest and antelope calves are born within days. In a matter of minutes, newborns rise shakily to their feet, instinct urging them to join the moving herd. The air is filled with the bleats of young and the low calls of mothers, a chorus of new life. For a brief window, the sheer abundance of vulnerable young overwhelms prowling predators, granting the newborns a precious chance to find their footing in a world fraught with danger. The journey's most perilous challenge lies ahead. Rivers swollen by recent rains. Banks churn with anticipation as herds gather, tension thick in the air. Beneath the muddy surface, crocodiles lie in wait, their eyes barely breaking the waterline. At a sudden signal, the herd surges forward, hooves thrashing, water exploding in a frenzy of movement. Panic and chaos reign as some are swept away or seized by powerful jaws, but the majority, driven by sheer determination, reach the far bank, soaked but alive. The sky becomes a silent messenger. Dark clouds gather on the horizon, promising relief and renewal. The herds press onward, their pace quickening as the scent of rain drifts on the wind. Each step is a gamble. Lightning may split the sky, and sudden downpours can turn dust to treacherous mud. Yet the promise of lush green pastures urges them forward, transforming the barren plains into a sea of life. Fatigue settles over the travellers like a heavy blanket. Muscles ache and eyes grow weary, but there is little time for rest. The herd pauses only briefly, bodies pressed together for warmth and safety. Every moment is a delicate balance between recovery and vigilance, as predators still prowl the shadows, waiting for the weak to falter. The terrain shifts beneath their feet. Mud clings to hooves, dust swirls in the air, and tangled undergrowth slows their progress. Yet the herd moves as a single entity, each animal's senses attuned to the group. The strong shield the vulnerable, and the confusion of numbers thwarts the strategies of would-be attackers. Every obstacle is met with collective resolve. As the sun dips low, painting the sky in hues of fire and gold, the migration presses on. This odyssey is nature's ultimate test, a relentless passage shaped by hunger, hope, and the indomitable will to survive. The savannah's eternal cycle continues, etched in the footprints of millions, a testament to the extraordinary resilience of life. From above, the savannah stretches endlessly, a living tapestry woven from countless lives, each thread vital to the whole. Herds of wildebeest and zebra graze in shifting patterns, their movements dictated by the promise of fresh grass and the shadow of lurking predators. The cheetah, a master of acceleration, explodes from stillness, each stride a blur, each heartbeat a race against time. When the hunt succeeds, the feast is brief. Vultures spiral above, and hyenas gather at the edge of the scene, ready to seize any opportunity. The cheetah must devour its prize before the scavengers descend, the balance of hunger and haste ever present. In the tall grass, a pride of lions moves as one, silent, coordinated, each member attuned to the others. Lionesses fan out, circling a herd, while the male stands sentinel, his presence a warning to rivals. Their strategy is ancient, refined by generations, and every hunt is a lesson in patience and precision. Yet the hunted are not helpless. Cape buffalo gather in formidable ranks, horns lowered, eyes blazing with resolve. When danger threatens, they form a living fortress, calves pressed safely within. A single charge can scatter even the boldest predator. The herd's unity, a shield forged by necessity. For the warthog, survival means vigilance and retreat. At the first hint of danger, it darts for its burrow, backing in so its tusks face outward, a living barricade. The earth itself becomes sanctuary, a refuge carved from generations of instinct. In the hush of morning, a gazelle fawn lies motionless, its dappled coat blending perfectly with the sunlit grass. It breathes in silence, trusting in invisibility. Every heartbeat is a gamble, every rustle a potential threat, but stillness is its greatest ally. Across the plains, herds move as living currents, each animal alert, ears flicking, eyes scanning the horizon. A single alarm call ripples through the group, and in an instant hundreds turn and run, safety found in numbers and in the wisdom of collective vigilance. Sometimes the tables turn. Prey animals, emboldened by unity, confront their pursuers. Hooves flashing, horns lowered, a wall of defiance that sends even the fiercest hunter retreating. In these moments, the balance shifts, and survival is won by courage and cooperation. Every encounter is a silent negotiation, a test of nerve, instinct, and adaptation. Predator and prey measure each other, the outcome uncertain until the very last heartbeat. Beneath the drama, the Savannah's foundation lies in its plants, grasses that feed the grazers, acacias that shelter the young, roots that hold the soil through drought and flood. Rainfall brings renewal, fire clears the old to make way for the new, and every living thing must adapt or perish. In this intricate web, every life is connected, every moment a testament to the delicate balance that defines the wild heart of the savannah. As dawn breaks over the endless grasslands, a golden light reveals a world shaped not only by the famous lions and elephants, but by a hidden caste of creatures whose influence is woven deep into the fabric of the savannah. Spotted hyenas, often dismissed as mere scavengers, are in fact formidable hunters. Their bone-crushing jaws echo through the night, recycling every last fragment of a carcass. In matriarchal clans led by powerful females, they orchestrate complex social dynamics, keeping prey populations in check and ensuring that nothing goes to waste. Their presence cleanses the plains, preventing disease and maintaining the delicate balance of life. African wild dogs, painted in vibrant patterns, move as a single, fluid unit. Their hunts are a display of precision and unity, guided by a chorus of sneezes that signal consensus. Each member, from the swiftest runner to the nurturing pup-sitter, plays a vital part in the pack's survival. Their success ensures that the savannah's herbivores remain healthy and strong, as only the fittest escape their coordinated pursuit. Above, vultures circle with keen eyes, descending in a flurry of wings to cleanse the land. Their powerful stomach acids destroy deadly bacteria, halting outbreaks before they begin. By swiftly consuming carrion, they prevent the spread of disease, acting as vigilant guardians of the savannah's health. In the trees and on the ground, baboons and vervet monkeys form intricate societies. Their sharp eyes scan for danger, and their alarm calls ripple across the plains, alerting antelope, birds, and even other primates to lurking predators. These sentinels create a living network of communication, where survival depends on shared vigilance. Yet beneath the feet of giants, the savannah's foundation is crafted by its smallest engineers, creatures whose tireless work often goes unnoticed, but whose impact is profound. Termites, the master builders, construct towering mounds that rise above the grass like miniature skyscrapers. Inside, millions of workers tunnel through the earth, aerating the soil and channeling rainwater deep below the surface. Their relentless breakdown of tough plant fibers returns nutrients to the ground, creating fertile patches that burst with new life after every rain. Dung beetles, small but mighty, roll and bury balls of dung with astonishing strength. Each buried treasure fertilizes the soil, nourishing grasses and wildflowers. By removing waste, they limit parasites and create healthier grazing for antelope, zebras and buffalo, quietly supporting the giants of the plains. Rodents and shrews, darting through the undergrowth, are tireless gardeners. Their burrowing loosens the earth, allowing roots to breathe and water to penetrate. As they gather seeds, some are forgotten and left to sprout, ensuring the renewal of grasses and shrubs that feed the entire ecosystem. Ants, ever industrious, carve out vast underground cities. They herd aphids for sweet nectar, defend plants from hungry invaders, and cultivate fungi in hidden chambers. Their ceaseless activity weaves a web of connections, linking plants, insects and soil in a cycle of mutual benefit. Pollinators, bees, butterflies and beetles, dance from bloom to bloom, carrying life on their delicate bodies. Each visit ensures the next generation of acacias, wildflowers and fruiting trees, feeding everything from tiny birds to massive elephants. As the day unfolds, a symphony of movement sweeps across the plains. Herds migrate, predators stalk, and the smallest creatures labour unseen, each action rippling through the ecosystem. The savannah's enduring strength is born from this intricate web of life. Every creature, from the silent termite to the vigilant monkey, is an architect of survival, each one essential, each one irreplaceable, together crafting a landscape of extraordinary resilience. At the heart of the Amazon, water and trees merge to form a world where the horizon blurs between river and forest, and the very ground seems to float. Here, the river's pulse dictates the rhythm of life, flooding the forest floor and transforming ancient trees into islands adrift in a shimmering expanse. Each year, the swollen rivers rise with relentless force, swallowing the land and weaving a labyrinth of submerged roots and tangled trunks. Fish glide through sunken branches, while the forest canopy above becomes a lifeline for creatures seeking refuge from the encroaching waters. Jaguars, the silent sovereigns of this flooded kingdom, slip between shadow and sunlight. With muscles rippling beneath their dappled coats, they leap from log to log, then plunge into the water, their bodies slicing through the current with practiced grace. In this realm, they are both hunter and phantom, vanishing into the green gloom with barely a ripple. With a single, crushing bite, a jaguar can bring down a caiman, one of the few rivals bold enough to share these waters. The struggle is brief but fierce, a testament to the jaguar's unmatched power and the ceaseless contest for survival in this liquid wilderness. Caimans, masters of patience, drift beneath the surface like living shadows. Their eyes break the waterline, unblinking as they wait for the faintest tremor, a careless fish, a bird's reflection, to betray the presence of prey. In these flooded forests, stillness is their greatest weapon. Giant otters, the river's most exuberant residents, weave through the water in tightly bonded families. Their sleek bodies twist and turn in perfect synchrony, each movement a signal in a language of chirps and whistles. Together they patrol their territory, outmaneuvering both lurking predators and darting fish. Working as a team, they launch coordinated hunts, herding schools of fish into shallow pockets before striking with lightning speed. When danger approaches, the family forms a living shield, encircling their young and raising a chorus of alarm that echoes across the water. On the sodden forest floor, leaf-cutter ants engineer intricate cities, their tunnels rising above the flood in a network of chambers and bridges. Each ant carries a fragment of leaf, a vital ingredient for the underground gardens, where they cultivate nourishing fungus, ensuring the colony's survival even as the waters rise. High in the emerald canopy and along the water's shimmering edge, poison dart frogs flash their dazzling colours. Emerald, sapphire and gold. Each hue is a warning, a silent proclamation of the potent toxins they harbour, drawn from the tiny insects they consume. Their vivid patterns serve a dual purpose: camouflage among the dappled leaves and a bold deterrent to would-be predators. In this world of shifting light and shadow, survival is a matter of both beauty and danger. From the treetops, where sloths dangle in slow motion, to the river depths, where armoured fish glide unseen, every creature has carved out a niche. Some climb, some swim, others soar or burrow, each adaptation a response to the ever-changing dance of water and wood. In this suspended world, where water and trees are forever entwined, life is a constant balancing act. Every dawn brings new challenges, and every dusk a renewal of the ancient pact between river and forest. A dance that has shaped this extraordinary realm for millennia. Suspended high above the forest floor, the Amazon's verdant canopy forms a living tapestry, woven from countless layers of leaves, branches and vines. Here, sunlight filters through a mosaic of green, dappling the world below and nurturing a realm where life has evolved in astonishing ways. Sloths, draped in algae-laden fur, blend seamlessly with the mossy branches, their slow, deliberate movements making them nearly invisible to predators. The harpy eagle, with talons as large as a grizzly bear's claws and eyes that pierce the dim light, scans the canopy for the faintest sign of movement. In a silent ballet of patience and precision, predator and prey are locked in a perpetual contest of survival. Howler monkeys, equipped with cavernous vocal chambers, unleash booming calls that ripple through the morning mist, staking their claim to territory and warning rivals to keep their distance. Spider monkeys, with tails as dexterous as a fifth limb, swing effortlessly from branch to branch, their elongated fingers grasping for ripe fruit and tender leaves. Each leap is a calculated risk, a testament to their agility and the intricate architecture of the canopy. The toucan's oversized, lightweight beak is a marvel of adaptation, allowing it to pluck fruit from the tips of slender branches that would never support its weight. Its vivid colours shimmer in the dappled light, signalling health and vitality to potential mates, while the beak structure helps dissipate heat in the humid air. Each bite of fruit is a delicate balance, as the toucan must avoid the watchful eyes of arboreal snakes and stealthy ocelots lurking nearby. Hummingbirds, their wings beating in a blur too fast for the eye to follow, hover with pinpoint precision as they sip nectar from brilliantly coloured flowers. Their hearts race over 1,000 times per minute, fueling their relentless energy. Each visit transfers pollen from blossom to blossom, forging a vital link between plant and animal life. Their iridescent feathers flash like living jewels, a fleeting glimpse of colour in the emerald shadows. As dusk settles and the forest dims, nectar-feeding bats take to the air, guided by acute senses and an unerring memory for the location of night-blooming flowers. Their delicate tongues probe deep into blossoms, gathering nectar and dusting their fur with pollen. Some bats return to their roosts, to share food with colony members, reinforcing bonds that are essential for survival in the unpredictable world above the forest floor. The canopy is a mosaic of life. Mixed flocks of birds forage together, their varied calls creating a chorus that confuses predators and alerts companions to danger. Monkeys and birds exploit different food sources, each species carving out a unique role in the bustling community. Cooperation and competition intertwine, shaping the daily rhythm of survival. Every movement, call and flash of colour is shaped by the relentless pressures of competition and cooperation. Chameleons shift their hues to blend with shifting light. Poison dart frogs advertise their toxicity with brilliant skin, and butterflies bask in rare shafts of sunlight, each species finely tuned to its own ecological niche. The sheer diversity of the canopy is mirrored in its plant life. Epiphytes, lianas and bromeliads thrive in the filtered sunlight, creating miniature worlds on every branch. Orchids bloom in impossible places. Vines spiral skyward in search of light, and mosses carpet the limbs, providing shelter and sustenance for countless creatures. Here, survival is a dynamic interplay of agility, cooperation, and adaptation. Monkeys leap between swaying branches, birds flock in coordinated flight, and insects form living bridges to traverse the leafy highways. Every organism is finely attuned to the ever-changing rhythms of the rainforest's green crown, where life flourishes in endless variety and complexity. Beneath the towering emerald canopy, the forest floor is a world shrouded in perpetual twilight. Here, a thick carpet of fallen leaves and tangled roots forms a living tapestry woven from centuries of growth and decay. The air is cool and heavy with the scent of earth, while shafts of sunlight pierce the gloom only in fleeting moments, illuminating the intricate patterns of moss and fungi that thrive in the shadows. In this dim underworld, the Goliath bird-eater spider glides silently over the leaf litter, its massive legs barely disturbing the delicate balance of the ground. It senses the faintest tremors, perhaps a beetle scurrying beneath a rotting log or a careless frog landing nearby. Not far away, a river of leaf-cutter ants flows in tireless procession, each ant hoisting a green shard above its head. Their journey leads deep underground, where the leaves become the foundation for vast fungal gardens, tended with meticulous care. Between the giants and the armies, springtails, no larger than a grain of sand, catapult themselves from droplet to droplet, their tiny bodies shimmering in the morning dew as they feast on the invisible threads of decay. The true architects of this realm are the decomposers. Fungi erupt from the soil in a silent explosion of colour. Delicate mushrooms, ghostly white and crimson red, feeding on the remains of ancient trees. Insects gather in secretive clusters, their mandibles working ceaselessly to dismantle fallen branches. Millipedes, armoured and patient, wind their way through the labyrinth of leaves, grinding detritus into fragments. Beetles, with iridescent shells, burrow deep into the wood, leaving behind a maze of tunnels for microbes to finish the feast. Each act of consumption releases a pulse of nutrients, fueling the relentless surge of life above. In the secret pools hidden among the roots, jewel-bright poison dart frogs tend to their fragile offspring. The mother returns again and again, offering unfertilized eggs to her hungry tadpoles, ensuring their survival in a world where danger lurks at every turn. Nearby, translucent snails glide silently over slick leaves, their delicate bodies tracing silver trails as they graze on algae and fungi. Each movement, each meal, is a thread in the endless cycle of transformation that defines this shadowed world. At the edge of a hidden pool, the black caiman lies in wait, its ancient eyes just above the waterline. Every ripple, every rustle in the undergrowth is measured and weighed. Its presence is a silent warning, shaping the paths of all who dwell nearby. Beneath the moss and roots, a centipede weaves its way through the labyrinth, its many legs moving in perfect coordination as it hunts for unsuspecting prey. In this world, every shadow conceals a story of survival. As dusk falls, small mammals emerge from their hiding places, noses twitching as they search for seeds and insects beneath the protective cloak of darkness. Above them, rare beams of sunlight filter through the canopy, spotlighting the restless activity below. Deep within the soil, earthworms tunnel tirelessly, churning and aerating the earth, blending decaying matter into a rich tapestry that sustains the roots of towering trees. Across this living mosaic, every creature, ants forging alliances, frogs vanishing into the undergrowth, pill-bugs curling into armoured balls, plays a role in the intricate choreography of the forest floor. Predators and prey, scavengers and builders, their lives intersect in fleeting moments, each encounter shaping the destiny of the hidden realm. Here, the boundaries between life and death blur. Decaying leaves cradle the roots of new seedlings, and every fallen branch becomes a nursery for the next generation. Time-lapse reveals the relentless push of green shoots through the remnants of the past, roots entwined with the very matter that once was. The forest floor is the silent engine of the rainforest, where the smallest lives ignite the greatest transformations, and every moment is a testament to the power of renewal. Across the endless sweep of the African savanna, where golden grasses ripple beneath the wind and herds of antelope graze in the fading light, a delicate balance has shaped life for millennia. Here, every sunrise brings new challenges and opportunities as giraffes stretch for the highest leaves and lions stalk through the tall grass, each animal finely tuned to its world. Deep within the emerald labyrinth of the Amazon rainforest, life flourishes in astonishing diversity. Jaguars move like shadows beneath the canopy, while tiny frogs flash brilliant colours among the moss and ferns. Every species, from the smallest insect weaving through the leaf litter to the towering kapok trees, has evolved extraordinary strategies to survive in a world of constant change. Yet these wild worlds now stand at a crossroads. Expanding deserts and shrinking waterholes force elephants to journey farther than ever before. In the Amazon, ancient forests are carved into fragments, their silence broken by the distant hum of chainsaws. The balance that once sustained these realms is threatened by habitat loss, shifting climates and dwindling populations. Elephants navigate shrinking ranges, wild dogs refine their hunting tactics to outwit faster prey, and vultures soar higher and farther, searching for sustenance in a changing landscape. Cheetahs, the fastest animals on land, must adapt their speed and strategy as prey patterns shift with the seasons. Countless other species face the same stark choice: innovate or vanish. Capybaras wade through flooded forests, macaws fill the air with vibrant calls, and river otters slip silently through winding streams. Each creature, no matter how small, plays a vital role in the intricate web of life. Rivers and wetlands, forests and grasslands, these living systems are the planet's lifeblood. They filter the air, purify water, and regulate the climate, supporting life far beyond their borders. The pulse of a river, the breath of a forest, the whisper of grass in the wind, Each sustains a world of connections. Conservation is not just a choice, it is a necessity. By protecting these habitats, we give nature the space to heal, to recover, and to adapt. When grasslands remain unbroken and forests stand tall, entire ecosystems gain the resilience to weather storms and droughts, to flourish in the face of uncertainty. Every animal, every plant, every river and tree is a thread in a tapestry of survival and adaptation. Elephant calves learn ancient migration routes from their mothers. Jaguars rest in the dappled shade. Sloths move slowly through the treetops, and butterflies dance on the breeze. Each life is a testament to hope and endurance. The future of the wild depends on the strength of these connections, on rivers that flow unimpeded, on forests that shelter generations, on grasslands that stretch to the horizon. It depends, too, on our resolve to protect and restore what remains, ensuring that every living thread endures. As dawn breaks over the savanna and rainforest, the next chapter of nature's story unfolds. Newborn antelope take their first tentative steps, jaguar cubs tumble in the shadows, and birds rise into the morning sky. This is a story shaped by resilience, adaptation, and the enduring power of the wild, a future written by the persistence of life itself. As the sun melts into the horizon, the savanna exhales, its golden grasses shimmering in the last light. The world seems to hold its breath, suspended between day and night. Shadows unfurl like velvet ribbons across the plains, and a gentle hush settles, broken only by the faint rustle of wind through the grass. Above, the sky deepens to indigo, stars pricking the darkness. The savanna's silence is deceptive. Beneath this celestial dome, a hidden orchestra prepares to play. In the cooling air, lions rise from their slumber, muscles rippling beneath tawny fur. Their eyes, aglow with reflected starlight, scan the shifting shadows. Each step is measured, silent, paws pressing softly into the earth. Suddenly, a deep, resonant roar rolls across the plains, vibrating through the ground, summoning the pride to action. Not far away, a cluster of impalas weaves through the tall grass, their silhouettes barely visible. Ears flick and nostrils flare, every sense tuned to the faintest tremor in the air. In the tangled arms of acacia trees, bush babies emerge, their enormous eyes reflecting the moon. With astonishing grace, they leap from branch to branch, vanishing and reappearing like woodland phantoms. Their high-pitched calls spiral through the night, weaving with the flutter of bats. Above, bats swoop and dive, their wings slicing the air as they hunt clouds of insects, invisible to all but them. From a hidden waterhole, the guttural bellow of a hippo erupts, echoing across the darkness. Frogs join in, their croaks rising in a rhythmic chorus, while crickets add a steady, pulsing undertone. In the distance, hyenas prowl, their laughter sharp and wild, slicing through the night. Overhead, an owl glides on silent wings, its haunting call drifting above the grass as it scans for movement below. The darkness comes alive with secrets. Pairs of eyes glimmer in the undergrowth, bodies shift and slink, and the air vibrates with a tapestry of sounds, the snap of a twig, the whisper of fur, the distant call of a nightjar. A leopard glides through the shadows, its coat dappled by moonlight, every muscle poised for the hunt. Nearby, a dung beetle rolls its prize across the sand, undeterred by the giants that roam above. In this nocturnal ballet, every creature, hunter and hunted, great and small, plays a vital note. The The Savannah's Symphony of Night swells and fades, a masterpiece performed in darkness, unseen by most, but never silent. As the first rays of dawn stretch across the savannah, golden light spills over the plains, unveiling a world sculpted by the relentless rhythm of the seasons. Every blade of grass, every distant tree stands as a testament to the cycles that govern this land. Time here is not marked by hours, but by the dramatic sweep of weather. Clouds gathering in the distance, the sky darkening, and then, in a sudden rush, rain pelting the thirsty earth. The ground transforms from parched and cracked to slick and glistening, each drop a promise of renewal. From above, the savannah shifts in colour and texture, lush emerald carpets unfurling after the rains, then slowly fading to tawny gold as the dry season returns. The land breathes in and out, swelling with life, then drawing back into quiet endurance. When the rains arrive, thunder rumbles and clouds burst, releasing torrents that soak the plains. Water rushes through ancient channels, awakening seeds and roots that have lain dormant through months of drought. Grasses respond in a surge of growth, racing skyward in a matter of days. The landscape is suddenly transformed, vivid green stretching to the horizon, a feast for the senses and for the creatures that depend on it. Wildebeest and zebra, attuned to the subtle cues of moisture and scent, gather in immense herds. Their migration is a spectacle of movement, thousands of hooves churning the wet earth, bodies weaving in coordinated patterns as they seek the freshest pastures. Each animal follows ancient trails, guided by memory and instinct. Nostrils flare, reading the wind for hints of rain and new grass, while the youngest learn the routes that will one day guide their own journeys. In the tall grass, predators stir. Lions and cheetahs move with silent precision, their eyes fixed on the herds. The abundance of prey brings opportunity, and the chase becomes a vital part of the seasonal drama. Rivers, swollen with rain, become lifelines. Elephants and buffalo gather at the water's edge, drinking deeply and bathing, their massive forms stirring the muddy pools. The air is thick with the scent of wet earth and the sounds of splashing and trumpeting. From beneath the mud, frogs emerge in droves. Their chorus rises at dusk, a jubilant celebration of water's return, each call echoing across the pools and marshes. Overhead, flocks of migratory birds arrive, their wings flashing with colour. Some have travelled thousands of miles, drawn by the promise of food and nesting grounds. Their songs fill the air, weaving a tapestry of sound above the green expanse. Acacia trees respond to the rains with a burst of golden blossoms. Their branches are heavy with flowers, attracting insects and birds that feast on nectar and pollen. Beneath the sheltering trees, new life emerges. Antelope calves and warthog piglets take their first tentative steps, their coats still damp from birth, eyes wide as they explore the vibrant world around them. Yet the season of plenty is brief. As the sun climbs higher and the rains retreat, the green begins to fade, replaced by the muted browns and golds of the dry season. The transformation is swift. Grasses wilt and curl, the lush carpet giving way to brittle stalks. The rivers recede, leaving behind cracked mud and isolated pools. The land grows harsh. Riverbeds shrink to narrow ribbons, their banks lined with thirsty animals. The air shimmers with heat, and the ground hardens beneath relentless sunlight. Herds fragment, each group setting out on long, uncertain journeys in search of water. Their paths cross and diverge, a living map of survival etched across the plains. Predators, now leaner, retreat to the shade. They watch and wait, conserving energy for the rare moments when prey draws near. Trees shed their leaves, reducing water loss. Their bare branches cast delicate shadows on the cracked earth, a silent strategy for survival. Only the hardiest plants endure. Deep-rooted shrubs and tough grasses cling to life, their resilience a quiet defiance against the drought. Beneath the surface, seeds wait in silence. Encased in tough shells, they bide their time, ready to awaken at the first touch of rain. Animals adapt in ingenious ways, resting in the shade during the hottest hours, digging for hidden roots, or travelling under the cool cover of night to avoid the searing sun. Every species, from towering giraffes browsing the treetops to tiny birds flitting through the grass, is finely tuned to these cycles. Their behaviours, migrations and births are all synchronized with the ebb and flow of the seasons. Even in apparent stillness, the savanna is alive with subtle motion. Grasses bending in the wind, shadows lengthening and shrinking as the sun arcs overhead, animals moving quietly through the landscape. Above it all, the sky is a canvas of shifting clouds and changing light. The savanna pulses with the heartbeat of the seasons, an ancient, unbroken cycle that shapes every life, every moment, beneath its boundless sky. From high above, the savanna stretches endlessly, a tapestry of gold and green where the secrets of survival are written in the language of invisibility. In this vast open world, where every movement is exposed and shadows are fleeting, the ability to vanish is a gift bestowed by nature's most ingenious artists. Each animal, whether hunter or hunted, is equipped with a palette of adaptations, fur, feathers and skin that echo the colours and textures of their home, rendering them nearly invisible to all but the keenest eyes. Watch the lioness, her coat a perfect echo of the sun-bleached grass. She glides through the swaying blades, her every muscle tuned to silence, her presence betrayed only by the faint ripple of movement in the sea of gold. Beneath the sparse shade of an acacia, she melts into the dappled light, her tail a subtle signal in the stillness. To the untrained eye, she is nothing more than a shadow among shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Her cubs, born with coats speckled like the forest floor, tumble beneath thorny bushes. Their playful forms are broken by sunlight and shadow, each spot a shield against the gaze of hungry eyes above. The impala, with its russet hide, becomes a living brushstroke against the earth. When danger whispers on the wind, it freezes, its outline dissolving into the tangled undergrowth, as if the land itself has drawn it in. At the first hint of threat, impalas slip into the patchwork of shade, their bodies flickering between beams of sunlight and pools of darkness, vanishing into the shifting mosaic beneath the trees. Camouflage is not merely a matter of colour. It is a symphony of patterns, stripes, spots and swirls, each one a masterpiece crafted by evolution to break up the body's shape and confuse the searching eye. The giraffe, towering above the grass, wears a patchwork cloak. Its irregular markings mimic the fractured light and shadow of scattered acacia trees, allowing this gentle giant to vanish into the woodland's embrace, even as it grazes in plain sight. Beneath the giants, the smallest residents of the savanna have their own tricks. Tiny mammals, their fur dusted with the colours of the earth, nestle among roots and stones, their shapes lost in the chaos of the ground. The African ground squirrel, ever wary of danger from above, rolls in the dust, cloaking itself in the scent and hue of the soil. With each movement it becomes less a creature and more a whisper of the land itself. Predators, too, are sculpted by the need to remain unseen. A big cat, crouched low, is nothing but a suggestion, a flicker of shadow, a glint of eye, hidden in the tangled tapestry of grass and leaves. The cheetah, draped in a constellation of spots, reclines in the dappled sunlight. Each mark on its coat is a fragment of the landscape, a puzzle piece that fits perfectly into the shifting patterns of grass and light. In the hush before the chase, the cheetah becomes a living shadow, its form dissolving into the gloom, every muscle coiled in anticipation, unseen until the very last heartbeat. Among the branches and leaf litter, insects and reptiles elevate camouflage to an art form. Their bodies mimic bark, leaf and stone, each detail a perfect imitation, each movement calculated to avoid detection. The stick insect, motionless on a slender branch, is a master illusionist. Its limbs align with twigs, its body textured and coloured to vanish completely. A living ghost in the world of wood and leaf. The flap-necked chameleon, a silent hunter, shifts its skin through a spectrum of greens and browns. With each subtle change, it melts into the foliage, invisible to both predator and prey as it inches forward with hypnotic patience. Sometimes predator and prey share the same patch of earth, both hidden by the same tricks of light and colour. Their fates entwined, they move in a silent ballet, one seeking, one evading, each relying on the art of disappearance. Every pattern, every subtle shift in posture, every silent step is a testament to the relentless contest of adaptation. In slow motion, the invisible becomes visible, revealing the genius of nature's design. Here, in the wild heart of the savannah, to blend in is to endure. Camouflage is not just a cloak. It is the very essence of survival, a living story written in every blade of grass and every heartbeat in the wild. In the heart of the savannah, water is the silent architect of existence, a force that shapes destinies, carves landscapes, and orchestrates the daily drama of survival. Each winding river and scattered pool becomes a lifeline, drawing a procession of creatures from distant corners. The land itself seems to lean toward these veins of water, as if pulled by an ancient memory. As the dry season tightens its grip, the sun bakes the earth into a mosaic of cracked clay and swirling dust. Waterholes shrink, their muddy edges marked by the prints of countless visitors, each one a testament to the struggle for survival. Dawn brings a hush, broken only by the soft tread of hooves and the distant calls of birds. Shadows stretch long as the first arrivals, timid and cautious, emerge from the gloom, drawn by the promise of water. Impala and zebra approach in tight-knit groups, their bodies tense, eyes wide and alert. Every movement is measured, every sound scrutinized, as they weigh the risk of predation against the necessity of drinking. At the water's edge, they lower their heads, nostrils quivering, muscles coiled like springs. The surface trembles with their caution, each sip a gamble in a world where danger is never far. The ground vibrates with the approach of elephants. Their footprints, pressed deep into the dust, trace ancient paths to the water, echoing generations of migration and memory. Matriarchs lead their families with unwavering resolve, their trunks swirling the mud, releasing hidden scents and stirring the water into a cloudy broth. Each gesture is steeped in wisdom, a ritual passed down through time. Competition is inevitable, but so is respect for the order of arrival. Wildebeest surge forward in restless waves, their hooves churning the mud. Warthogs kneel awkwardly, snouts submerged, while crocodile eyes break the surface, silent, patient, and deadly, waiting for a moment's distraction. Buffalo gather in stoic ranks, their massive forms casting long shadows. Above, clouds of quellias descend in a flurry, their wings flashing as they dart in for a sip, vanishing as quickly as they appeared. For a fleeting moment, predator and prey stand side by side, united by thirst. Lions crouch low, their golden eyes fixed on the horizon, while antelope drink with trembling urgency, bound together by the invisible threads spun by water. The waterhole becomes a living tapestry, woven from the movements and interactions of countless species. Each animal plays its part, some bold, some cautious, all shaped by the relentless demands of survival. Giraffes, towering and graceful, must bend low, splaying their legs in a vulnerable pose. Their eyes never rest, scanning the horizon for the faintest flicker of movement, every muscle ready to spring into action. In the dappled shade, a leopard melts into the undergrowth, its spotted coat blending seamlessly with the shadows. Patient and silent, it waits for opportunity, its presence felt but rarely seen. The jackal, ever resourceful, lingers at the periphery. It watches the chaos unfold, then slips in between the legs of giants, seizing its chance to drink before vanishing once more. As the sun climbs, the air shimmers with heat. The waterhole throngs with life, bodies press close, tempers fraying, the competition for space and safety intensifying with every passing hour. Dominant animals claim the heart of the waterhole, their presence commanding respect. On the fringes, the timid and the young dart in and out, risking everything for a mouthful of water, their movements quick and furtive. As dusk settles, the sky ignites in hues of orange and violet. Silhouettes gather at the water's edge, their outlines softened by the fading light, the day's tensions dissolving into the cool embrace of evening. Nightfall brings new actors to the stage. Porcupines shuffle forward, quills bristling, while genets and hyenas slip through the darkness, their senses attuned to every sound and scent. The ground is a tapestry of tracks, hoof prints, paw marks and claw impressions, all converging at the water's edge, each telling a story of passage, struggle and survival. Ripples spread across the surface, distorting reflections of horn and fur, feather and claw. Each wave carries the memory of a moment, of rivalry, alliance and adaptation. In this vast, untamed land, water is more than a resource. It is the pulse that binds the savannah together, threading through every life, every story, every heartbeat of the wild. As the first rays of sunlight spill across the endless savannah, the land awakens not in silence, but in a tapestry of signals woven by its wild inhabitants. Here every creature is fluent in a language older than memory, a language shaped by survival, spoken through the brush of a wing, the tremor of the earth, and the flicker of an ear. Herds gather, their bodies forming shifting mosaics. A single impala's tense posture sends a silent warning, rippling through the group like wind through grass. Elephants, wise matriarchs at their core, pause mid-step, their trunks gently entwined in greeting, a gesture that speaks of trust, reassurance, and the unbreakable bonds of family. Beneath the surface, a deep vibration hums, a subterranean message sent by elephants. These low-frequency rumbles, undetectable to most, travel for miles, carrying news of distant waterholes, the approach of danger, or the joy of a newborn's arrival. The earth itself becomes a conduit for their conversations, binding herds separated by vast distances. At the water's edge, a newborn calf is welcomed with a chorus of gentle rumbles and caresses, each touch and sound a promise of protection and belonging. In the tall grass, impalas stand poised, their nostrils flaring. A sharp snort slices the morning air, followed by a cascade of alarm whistles. Tails flick in perfect synchrony, a visual semaphore that sweeps through the herd, alerting every member to the unseen threat lurking nearby. Zebras, striped sentinels of the plains, converse in a code of brays, barks, and the subtle tilt of an ear. Each sound and gesture is a thread in the fabric of their society, weaving together warnings, greetings, and the reassurance of unity. A sudden, high-pitched call draws the herd into a tight cluster, their bodies pressed close, eyes scanning the horizon. Even the smallest twitch, a flick of a tail, a shiver of skin, can signal irritation or urgency, ensuring the group moves as one. Giraffes, towering and graceful, appear silent to the casual observer. Yet, beneath their calm exterior, they exchange infrasonic grunts and delicate neck movements. A gentle nudge, a slow sweep of the head, these are the words of giants, spoken in frequencies that drift on the wind, unnoticed by all but those attuned to their secret dialogue. Among the predators, communication is a matter of life and death. A lioness, muscles rippling beneath her tawny coat, signals her intent with a flick of her tail and a low, rumbling growl. Cheetahs, swift and silent, coordinate their hunts with subtle shifts in posture and fleeting glances, their bodies speaking volumes in the hush before the chase. As dusk falls, the savannah trembles with the roar of lions. Their voices roll across the plains, proclaiming territory, summoning distant pride members, and warning rivals to keep their distance. Each roar is a signature, unique to its owner, echoing through the twilight. In the darkness, hyenas gather, their voices rising in a chorus of whoops, cackles, and eerie giggles. Each sound is a badge of rank, a declaration of intent, and a signal to allies and adversaries alike. The night air vibrates with their laughter, a language as complex as any spoken word. The elusive leopard, master of stealth, leaves messages in the shadows. With a swipe of its paw and a spray of scent, it marks its passage on tree trunks, broadcasting silent warnings and invitations to those who share its secret trails. Above, the treetops pulse with colour and song. Birds, from the smallest finch to the regal hornbill, fill the air with melodies that shimmer in the morning light. The hornbill's resonant call echoes from a high perch, a proclamation of territory. On the ground, the francolin's urgent cry warns of danger, while the woodpecker's rhythmic drumming signals both challenge and invitation. Each beat a message in the language of the trees. Not all messages are carried by sound. In the open grassland, a herd of antelope flashes their white rumps in unison, a silent alarm that sweeps across the plain, alerting all to the presence of a stalking predator. A sudden leap, a mane flared in defiance, or a synchronized dash. These visual cues ripple through herds, setting off waves of movement that can mean the difference between escape and capture. In an instant, a single signal can ignite a stampede, sending dust swirling as hooves thunder and wings beat the air, scattering danger and confusion in their wake. Even the briefest glance, a flash of eye contact, a shared look between mother and calf, can carry a world of meaning, forging connections that endure through hardship and change. As the sun dips below the horizon, the savannah's conversation shifts. Shadows lengthen, and a new chorus rises. Crickets, frogs, and the distant calls of night hunters. The language of the wild never ceases. It flows from dawn to dusk, from the trembling grass to the star-lit sky, binding every creature in a ceaseless, intricate dialogue that is as old as the land itself. As daylight softens into golden haze, the savannah reveals another of its hidden wonders, the art of shelter. Here, survival depends not only on speed or strength, but on the intricate architecture crafted by its wild inhabitants. Across the open plains, the landscape is dotted with mounds, silent fortresses built by tireless armies of termites. Each mound, a marvel of engineering, rises from the earth like a miniature city, its tunnels spiralling deep below ground to maintain perfect temperature and humidity, regardless of the savannah's searing days or frigid nights. Within these earthen towers, millions of workers move in seamless coordination, tending to fungus gardens and feeding their queen. The mound spires vent hot air, while hidden chambers cradle delicate eggs and larvae. On the surface, aardvarks lumber through the dusk, their powerful claws tearing open abandoned mounds in search of a midnight feast. In their wake, these excavated homes become sanctuaries for an array of other creatures, meerkats, mongooses and snakes, each finding refuge in the labyrinthine tunnels left behind. Elsewhere, weaver birds transform the acacia's thorny branches into bustling neighbourhoods. Males gather strands of grass and weave elaborate hanging nests, swaying baskets that test both their skill and their patience. Each nest is a testament to persistence, its entrance facing downward to deter snakes and shield fragile chicks from the elements. As the sun sets, the trees glow with clusters of these woven homes, alive with the fluttering of wings and the soft calls of nestlings. In the shade, warthogs kneel at the mouth of a burrow, their tusks churning the earth as they seek shelter from the midday heat. The cool darkness within offers respite not just to them, but to countless insects, reptiles, and small mammals drawn to the promise of safety. From towering mounds to woven nests and hidden burrows, the savannah is a landscape shaped as much by architecture as by tooth and claw. Every shelter, no matter how small, is a legacy, offering protection, nurturing life, and weaving the fabric of survival that binds this wild world together. Beneath the waving grasses of the savannah lies an unseen network, a world of movement, connection, and silent purpose. Here the soil itself pulses with life. Tiny ant colonies carve intricate tunnels just below the surface, their pathways forming living highways that stretch for meters in every direction. These subterranean corridors are alive with activity. As soldier ants patrol the routes, workers haul seeds and grains, and scouts venture above ground to chart new territories. Earthworms and beetles, silent engineers of the underworld, churn and aerate the soil, turning decaying plant matter into rich nutrients. Their tireless labour nourishes the roots of the acacia and baobab, allowing these giants to thrive in the harshest of seasons. Above, the grasses sway gently, oblivious to the teeming world below that keeps them fed and anchored. At night, the surface comes alive with the emergence of nocturnal dwellers. Dung beetles roll their precious cargo across the moonlit plains, following invisible scent trails back to their burrows. Small rodents like gerbils and mole rats dart between entrances, using these hidden highways to escape predators and find food. This intricate underworld is rarely seen, yet its impact is everywhere. It is the backbone of the savannah, a living web of tunnels and chambers supporting the great tapestry of life above. Each passageway, each chamber, is a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the unseen multitudes. In this quiet realm, the savannah's true lifeblood flows, connecting, sustaining, and renewing the wild world above. Across the wild savanna, a secret language pulses through the air, one that is neither heard nor seen by most. This is the world of silent signals, where animals communicate through vibrations, scents, and subtle movements, orchestrating their survival with astounding precision. A herd of wildebeest stands alert, nostrils flaring as the faintest whiff of alarm pheromones drifts on the breeze. Without a sound, the entire group shifts, the message passed invisibly from one to another. In the tall grass, a lioness crouches low. Her tail twitches, sending a silent cue to her pride. Now is the moment to strike. Beneath the acacia shade, elephants rumble softly, their low-frequency calls travelling through the ground for miles. These seismic signals warn distant family members of danger or summon them to hidden waterholes. Even the smallest creatures are fluent in this silent symphony. Termites tap out coded vibrations on the walls of their mounds, while lizards flash their dewlaps and bob their heads in intricate visual displays. Each message is tailored to its receiver, a scent trail for the ants, a shimmer of colour for the birds, a ripple of grass for the alert gazelle. In this world, silence is not emptiness, but a canvas painted with the invisible brushstrokes of communication. Through silent signals, the savanna's inhabitants coordinate hunts, defend territories, and nurture their young. Though we may never fully decode these hidden conversations, their effects ripple across the landscape, shaping the destinies of all who call this wild world home. As the midday sun scorches the savanna, a strange choreography begins to unfold across the open plains. Wisps of heated air spiral upward, gathering loose sand and brittle grass into whirling columns. Dust devils, nature's fleeting dancers. These swirling mini-tornadoes seem almost alive as they glide across the landscape, twisting and turning with unpredictable grace. Within their spinning embrace, seeds, insects, and fragments of dry leaves are swept aloft, carried far from where they once lay. For a brief moment, the dust devil becomes a vessel of transformation, redistributing the building blocks of life across the savanna. Birds like the tawny eagle circle overhead, ever watchful, sometimes following these swirling winds, hoping the commotion will flush out hidden prey. Small mammals, such as the agile mongoose, pause and crouch low as the dust devil passes, their fur ruffled by the sudden gust. Herds of impala instinctively turn their heads away, eyes narrowed against the swirling grit, while ostriches lift their long necks, peering through the haze for any sign of approaching predators. Even the acacia trees, rooted and stoic, sway gently as the dust devils brush past, their leaves momentarily obscured by a veil of airborne earth. Each encounter is a reminder that the savanna is shaped not only by its creatures, but also by the invisible forces of wind and weather. As quickly as they appear, the dust devils unravel, leaving behind new patterns in the sand, traces of their ephemeral dance. In the vast theatre of the wild, even the wind has a role to play, stirring life, chance, and change across the endless grasslands. Beneath the rough, sun-cracked bark of the savanna's ancient trees, a hidden world thrives, one seldom glimpsed, but vital to the ecosystem's pulse. As the afternoon heat presses down, tiny termites and industrious beetles awaken to their unseen labours. In the cool darkness, between layers of wood and bark, these miniature engineers carve intricate tunnels, their jaws tirelessly breaking down dead timber and leaf litter. Here, the click of mandibles and the soft scuttle of legs create a quiet symphony, inaudible above ground, yet essential to the cycle of life. Fungi and bacteria join the feast, working in partnership with insects to decompose and recycle nutrients, turning yesterday's fallen branches into tomorrow's fertile soil. Predators, too, stalk this shadowy microcosm. The slender snout of an aardvark sniffs along the base of a tree, probing for the faintest sign of movement. Antlions dig their sandy traps at the foot of stumps, waiting for careless prey to tumble in. Even the iridescent sun spider, rarely seen in daylight, emerges to hunt among the splinters and shadows. All the while, the tree itself stands a silent witness, its roots drawing nourishment from the very decay that encircles its base. In this secret realm beneath the bark, life is a constant interplay of creation and consumption, an invisible engine sustaining the savanna above. Here, in the narrowest crevices and darkest hollows, the wild savanna renews itself, one tiny life at a time.